Hello on the book base. You already see what we're talking about. Okay, so Libby came through with Jada Pinkett Smith's memoir, Worthy. Okay, I think people are just running through this book day in, day out that I got it so quickly. I went from like 13th in line to number 1, and it hasn't even been 2 weeks, so works for me. Okay, now I learned a lot about Jada that I did not know. Like, I am definitely a fan of her works. Okay, I have seen Set It Off. That was my jam back in the day. So was A Different World. That representation was just beautiful. Chef's Kiss. I love Demon Knight with Billy Zane. Magic Mike, okay, that was the bomb. Okay, so anyway, I'm a fan of her work. Her personal life, she definitely likes to reveal it, and I listen, but I don't get all in depth. I think that people have a right to live their life the way that they want and make their own rules. And I believe that when it comes to celebrities, they create their own rules and have a whole different world. So who am I to judge in that respect? But you know what? You want to write a book about it? I'm going to read it. Now, in this book, she does exactly what people had expected. She reveals the details of all these things that we already know, okay? I will say that when it came to the Red Table Talk with August Alsina and talking about her entanglement, I thought that was really interesting when she stated that it was Will who volunteered to come to the Red Table and talk about that situation with her. I don't think that's something I would have probably want my husband, even though it's husband only in name. She made it very clear they have not been together since 2016. So when it comes to the whole cheating factor, I don't necessarily think that that was the case there. I am not going to judge her or villainize her for the choices that her and her husband decide to make in the confines of that marriage. Another thing that she discussed, of course, is the Oscars. Now, the Oscars I'm talking about is when Will Smith got on stage and slapped Chris Rock for making a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's hair. She suffers from alopecia. That is a health condition, okay? And it's a very sensitive topic. As far as with Chris Rock, I was disappointed. He is one of my favorite comedians. I was disappointed that he would make so light of a joke of someone, especially someone that I think they considered themselves friends up until that point. I just thought it was crass. But anyway, she said that he had a knack for making her a target of jokes on the center stage like that. So she had expected something, just not to that extent. So anyway, so when Will Smith decided to jump on stage and slap Chris Rock for it, she was taken aback because she thought it was a joke, just like I did. And it wasn't until a little bit later that she realized that it was legitimate, because she thought it was like a stunt, because Hollywood, they duck and all this stuff. So just interesting situation. But what I did like is that she did not go on the defense of him. And some people may call her cruel for that, but I think it was appropriate. I think Will Smith is a grown-ass man, and he needs to take responsibilities for his own actions. And she basically kind of said as such. She said that that situation has everything to do with him and why he defended her. And I can understand that. Now, what she did say is that she would be there to support him. So I say kudos to Jada for not coddling Will. Now, I know that that is probably a very unpopular opinion. I've seen it time and time again that people are villainizing her. But I think that she is very much aware of how that situation made her look and how it made him look. She also spoke about the eye roll that everybody keeps talking about how it was like an indicator to Will to go and do something and defend her honor. And really it had nothing to do with him. It had to do with her not wanting to fake being amused at a very crass joke by Chris Rock. And I can understand that. She also talked about like her parenting style. She seems like she has a very loose parenting style to where almost it seems like the kids are just wild children and are just policing themselves. But she's allowing them to make their own decisions. I think that in the end it's up to her of how she wants to raise her kids, but I think that celebrity kids and all the things that they get into and into careers like really early, it's a whole nother ball game than the average person. So you know what, have at it. Parenting does not come with the manual, so you know what, Jada, hey, take care of them and love them the best way you can, okay? She also addressed her relationship with Tupac, which I've heard quite a bit about people saying that she had a romantic relationship with him, when really they had just a very strong friendship because they come from similar backgrounds in Baltimore. Now, Tupac was cut down very early in his youth, so it's no telling what would have come of that. But I do like their whole ride or die relationship that they had with one another. There's not too many friends that you can argue with so much and then somehow come back together. It's just unfortunate that by the time that he died, they never did get a chance to get on good solid footing with each other again. But that's the main parts of the book that I just wanted to talk about. But I think that it was a great book overall. I think that it read a lot like a self-help motivational book, which I am not a big fan of self-help books by celebrities. It's always easy to make it big and then try to tell everybody what to do. But I do think that she had some really good key points about self-help and making sure that you find your worth and make sure that that is respected. I also felt like this book was almost like a multi-person memoir / biography because she talks so much about Tupac, about Will Smith, and about her son. And these are all other celebrities that we have encountered in life, or that I have encountered. So it was nice to get that insight into these other individuals because I definitely won't be reading memoirs by them. But I also did like that the people that she met, and she name dropped definitely a lot of celebrities out there that I have recognized, but she has continued to cultivate a lot of these relationships with these people throughout her life, and I think that's a beautiful thing. But overall, I really did enjoy hearing her story. I think there's just so much out there about her, and I feel like for the most part it's people having biased judgments. To be honest, it's due to her putting her business out there. I think some of it she kind of wanted to get ahead of, like with the August Alsina thing, you know, tell your story before somebody else tells it for you. But you know, it was a good book. So let me know if you have decided to pick up this book. Oh, also another thing I wanted to say is apparently there's all this controversy out there where people just don't want to give her her flowers. But apparently she's like number 3 or number 4 on the best-selling charts, right? And people are basically calling the book a flop. Now, I don't really see how you can be a flop when you're that high up already on the best-selling charts list. But, you know, it wouldn't be the first time somebody wanted to suppress the success of certain groups of people. So, anyway, I'm going to go, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.